Oh, wow. Wow. Did you know this mic is fake? You didn't, and you probably also don't know that representation, or as Stuart Hall calls it, re-representation, holds that media represents a meaning that already exists. Most likely you've already seen this video of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock during the 2022 Oscars. Rock made a joke about Will Smith's wife, calling her G.I. Jane. Why? I'll show you why. The evidence speaks for itself. This made Will Smith very upset because his wife suffers from alopecia, which is a disease that causes hair loss. Now, if I were to ask your opinion on what happened, you could say Will should not have slapped Chris and that violence is not the answer. Or you could say Chris was wrong for making that joke. Or you just might not care. Either way, after the single moment blew up, fans were quick to take sides on the side they believed was right and criticize the side they believed was wrong. Even those who once supported Will quickly turned on him for slapping his fellow actor. Now, of course, what happened does not define the character of both of them, but it shows you how quickly the internet is to pick sides, how quickly people change their opinions about others. Which makes you wonder, how much power does the media hold in shaping our perspective of the world at large? This is a question many theorists have tried to answer over the decades, but one that gives a unique view of this topic is Stuart Hall representation theory. Stuart Hall is a prominent scholar in cultural and media studies. He was born in a middle-class family, Kingston, Jamaica in 1932. Later in his life, Hall explained how he felt about being the darkest-skinned member of his family, and how that ultimately shaped his perspective of the world. After attending the Anglican Kingston College, he traveled abroad to pursue a higher education at Oxford University on a Rhodes Scholarship in 1951. Soon after beginning his professional career in 1964, he became a co-founder in one of Britain's most influential cultural studies institution, the Birmingham Center for Contemporary Studies. Together with other theorists from the Birmingham Center for Contemporary Culture Studies, Hall studied the relationship between media and ideology by analyzing system of signification in television and news broadcast as part of his semiotic analysis. He is also popular for some of his other theories, like encoding and decoding model, and his views on ideology and hegemony.
Representation, not as an after the event activity. It means something, and then the presentation might change or distort the meaning. We're talking about the fact that it has no fixed meaning, no real meaning in the obvious sense, until it has been represented.
To put Stewart's explanation in other words, representation do not form after a phenomenon happened but gives meaning to it. This raises a question on who controls meaning and to what extent, especially now that our modern society is highly digitalized. Media interaction have become the norm, and whether we are aware of it or not, this media-sized world influences our opinion, attitude, and our perspective of the world. However, it is simply not whether an image presented in the media is right or wrong, as Stuart Hall's theory of representation argues, but also how the concept of representation itself constitutes the very world it strives to describe. He does this by exploring how the shared language, signs, and images of a particular culture provides a mental picture that helped make sense of the world rather than mirroring it. As an immigrant from Jamaica with its complex racial hierarchies, Hall brought the study of race into British academic discourse as a critical factor of difference and inequality to be examined alongside socio-economics concerns. He also uses semiotic, the study of signs, to explore how the media conveys messages to the targeted audience. Now, this theory has evolved over the years, with researchers applying Hall's work into contemporary social issues, one of which is a representation of gay marriage in the US. Trevor Scott uses Hall's theory as a lens to evaluate online expression towards the LGBT community, while also addressing the shortcomings of the theory. This speaks to how the LGBT community is represented in the media, and what meaning the media producers intend to convey to the targeted audience. And like I said before, this mic is fake. So are my headphones. Thank you.